This is Future Talk.
Future Talk.
Future Talk with Omnia Al Saleh and Hani Balkis.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Future Talk right here on Pulse 95. It is me, Hani Balkis, with Omnia Saleh, bringing you every single thing that you need to know when it happens in the tech world, in the UAE, and around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it is finally Yom Al-Khamis.
It is
finally Thursday.
You know the song Al-Khamis Al-Wanis?
No, what I know is what's it called? Hala Bil Khamis, yes. You know? And back in 2016, 2017, I used to get WhatsApp messages every Thursday by a group of people saying, Hala Bil Khamis! And, you know, they start yelling and screaming. It was good times, fun times. But you know what else is fun, Omnia? The UAE Space Agency and how Arab space pioneer programs have now started to train the region's brightest scientific talent.
Yes, indeed. And we're so excited to talk about this story because it's definitely opening the door for a lot of students who are interested in STEM sciences. Coming up on today's show, I know what a lot of people will be thinking when I talk about this headline, because the iPhone 13, it was just released. It was just announced. But Apple does not like to wait. And I feel like this time more than ever, they're trying to fight all the disappointment. So iPhone 14 is in the talks right now. And according to many reports coming from Apple, it's going to be involving a huge redesign, finally.
Yes, the iPhone or Apple does like to reel you in right after they do announce or they do start selling their new phone. And for our apps all around the world segment, we're talking about how YouTube is cracking down on anti-vaccine videos. Funny enough, I know a lot of people, the more vaccines, have been normalized or vaccination has been normalized, I'm starting to know a lot of people who are against it but are taking it against their will.
Yes, indeed. Coming up on today's show, in the world of gadgets, we've got lots to share with you as well. And my favorite type of gadgets are those that keep people of determination, keep them come in handy for them, especially when it comes to helping them regain independence. Smart glasses are changing the future for those who are visually impaired, and we're going to be talking about exactly what features they're going to involve.
Yes, and Amazon is unveiling a new robot that can follow you around your home. So basically, you're going to have a toddler that always needs attention following you around. Ladies and gentlemen, we are taking a short break, but when we come back, we got all the tech news that is happening right here in the UAE.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Your quick roundup of everything that is happening in the tech world, in the UAE, and all around the world. We are talking about one of the biggest accomplishments for the UAE when it comes to space sciences and STEM sciences. The UAE Space Agency's Arab Space Pioneers program is currently training the region's brightest scientific talents. We're talking about 7 future stars that are training with world-leading experts. And this is actually the first intensive scientific training scheme of its kind in the Arab world.
Yes, now these students have actually been selected for the first phase of the seminal Arab Space Training Program, which actually did attract more than 37,000 applications. Now, they're actually participating in an intensive training schedule, which will cover everything from space science, AI, technology, and robotics to engineering, and even space entrepreneurship under the talent track phase, which did begin just last month. Now, actually, around last year, Omni and I did tell you guys about, applying to this program and how, it is open for everyone. And when I say everyone, I mean literally everyone. Anyone, if it was in Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Palestine, Kuwait, mostly the Arab world. And, you could apply if you had the right credentials and, you could have been one of them. Now, so far, the students do include Mohammed Al-Sayyid Subai, who is only 18 years old, Salah ad-Din Jalal, who is also 18, Nuran Al-Sayyid from Egypt, and Nuran Al-Yusuf, 17, Fatma Al-Abdullah, who is 17, from Saudi Arabia, Muhammad Zakaria, who is 16, from Algeria, and Muhammad Al-Jarub, 17, from Jordan. So we're looking at a very, very, very young batch here, and they are coming for space.
Yes, indeed. And they are all actually training in different aspects when it comes to space sciences. Artificial intelligence, technology, robotics, even space entrepreneurship. They are all part of their training phase at the talent track phase that actually began in this program last month. Now, looking at it, these training sessions were actually conducted remotely most of the time, just to help abide by all the precautionary measures that are taking place as part of the kind of managing the COVID-19 pandemic. But also, they were receiving training from world-leading experts in the US, experts in the UK, and experts that were part of the Space Foundation, which is actually an American nonprofit organization that was founded back in 1983, and it actually provides different information, education, and collaboration for different space exploration activities. Now, this program, just like you've mentioned, it was actually launched quite some time ago, back in July of 2020, but it was coinciding with the Emirates Mars mission. So this helped them kind of apply a lot of what they were learning last year into action with the Emirates Mars mission and the UAE Hope probe.
Yes, I mean, what we can tell right now, and I do believe the UAE is the first of its kind doing this, is that, traditionally when we look at astronauts and people who, do work in the space sector, they are usually very, middle-aged, 40, 35 and above. And, they have usually, a previous military, experience. They come from the military. When I'm talking about the U.S. government, right? But the UAE, they're recruiting these youngings from 17 years old. And I think the youngest was 16. So we are looking at becoming an astronaut is a now even closer achievement and milestone, because we're starting them young. So a career profession of being an astronaut is becoming closer and closer. And I mean, you don't have to wait till you're 45 years old like in the US. In the US, you got to be a pilot, you got to be, military experience. And most of, the astronauts in the United States are actually from the Air Force, the United States Air Force, or even from the Marines, because, these guys do very intensive training. Let us know your guys' thoughts, 4215, do it a slot, or on our Instagram, at Post95Radio. Did you apply to become, an astronaut or to learn about space? And did you get accepted or not? Or are you going to apply next year as well? Our text lines are open, but we are taking a short break. And when we come back, we got a lot in store for you guys.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just got hit with very, very, very big news, and we're talking about the iPhone 14. Not the 13, the 14. Now, the iPhone 14 was recently announced around 2 weeks ago, or not announced, or, being launched and being sold around 2 weeks ago, and already we're having reports of the iPhone 14. Now, in regards to the iPhone 13, a lot of people liked it, a lot of people didn't, and I do believe the unliking weighed a lot more than the liking, because people kind of expected something great and something new, when in actuality, it was just a better camera and a better battery life. But now, Apple's iPhone 14 series will be a complete redesign, as the company does wrestle with its competitors such as Samsung and Xiaomi. And just recently, about 2 weeks ago, I did tell you guys that Apple was kicked off the charts, the second place, and went to third. And I do believe Xiaomi did take its place of second, and Samsung was number one. Now, we do know iPhone's latest iPhone 13 lineup did launch on September 14th. And, it did offer minor upgrades. But now, Apple is trying to fix its, you can say, wrongdoing by saying, hey, here's a completely new redesign. Now,
the iPhone 13 is a safe upgrade for anyone, let's say, with an iPhone 11 or earlier. There's no doubt about it. If you have an iPhone XS or an iPhone 11, upgrading to the iPhone 13, you will find a big difference, especially when it comes to performance, battery, and camera quality. However, if you have an iPhone 12, it's going to be a hard upgrade for someone to do, because there's not much of a difference between the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 13. There's not much of an update apart from the revamped design and 5G support. But the newest phone, the iPhone 14, Apple is promising a bigger change. And I feel like it's not anymore them promising a change, it's them needing a change if they still want a slice of the cake when it comes to the smartphone industry. So they need to get a dramatic change to be able to increase their market share, because Samsung, Xiaomi, they're not playing around. They are changing their phones dramatically. We have we've had foldable phones with Samsung for, I think, about a year now.
Around 2.5, yeah.
Yeah, and Apple has not released a single foldable phone. So with the iPhone 14, we're definitely expecting a new entry-level phone, a new Pro model phone, and a complete redesign, hopefully.
I mean, we do know that Apple is also working on a foldable device that, it could be released actually in a few years. And, foldable smartphone shipments are projected to increase about 3 times on an annual basis to about 9 million units this year. With the phone maker Samsung accounting for an 88% market share regarding that. Now, let's go and talk about satellite technology real quick. Now, the new iPhones could come with satellite technology to let users communicate with first responders in case of emergency in areas without 4G or even 5G coverage. Now, I saw, something related to this about, again, 3 or 4 weeks ago, because usually when, the launch of a new iPhone is coming out, we start to see more and more rumors that are then applied to the next iPhone, not the iPhone we're talking about now, the next iPhone. And having satellite coverage might actually be a very, very good idea. And maybe we could see, the satellite coverage be connected to the internet as well. Now, the iPhone 14 series will also come with design changes that do address many users' common complaints and a hole punch style camera, which will put the camera in a good place with no compromisation of the screen size and the notch. I like the idea. I like how, Apple is trying to, we can say fix its wrongs. But again, I think that a lot of people had very high expectations when it did come to the iPhone 13. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, since the beginning of iPhones, we have seen iPhone 3G, iPhone 3GS. The next one in line is always, after every redesign, the next one has a little minor ticks and improvements. And then after that, we will see a dramatic change like the one we're talking about with the iPhone 14. Let us know your guys' thoughts, 4215 Duro Slot, or on our Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. Did you get your hands on the iPhone 13 or not?
And you know what? Speaking of big changes and big opportunities, we do have one big opportunity right here on Pulse 95 because there's a contest actually going on starting from tomorrow. From the 1st of October until the 30th of October, Pulse 95 is calling on all young creatives aged 16 years and above to go ahead and put their brilliance when it comes to shooting aerial views into play. If you have a drone, you could just potentially win about 30,000 dirhams in cash prizes. And this competition could not get any easier. We're talking about just getting your drone up there all around Sharjah, filming a 60-second video, posting it on your Instagram and tagging us at Pulse95 Radio. Also using the hashtag Sharjah above.
Yes, it's pretty quick and simple. If you do know how to edit and if you do know how to operate a drone, you could be winning up to 30,000 dirhams in cash. So all you have to do, just like Omnia said, mention at Pulse95 Radio, hashtag Sharjah above, and make sure your videos are no longer than 60 seconds.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
YouTube and anti-vaccine content. We've seen it on all social media platforms, to be honest, but social media platforms have increasingly been tightening their effort when it comes to fighting misinformation about coronavirus in general or even about the vaccine in specific. But now YouTube is actually taking a whole other approach to do this. So they're basically going to start removing videos altogether that falsely claim that approved vaccines are dangerous. So if you find any video that says that the COVID-19 vaccine is dangerous or might cause a lot of complications, this video may not exist in the coming weeks, to be honest. And I believe it's all for good reason, because people are allowed to have their own thoughts about the vaccine, but I don't believe people should be spreading these thoughts, because at the end of the day, it's a subjective idea. Even if a researcher came out saying it, it's one researcher. The big majority of the opinion is that it's not supposed to cause more harm than good. So,
yeah. I mean, YouTube has already banned posts that do spread false misinformation around coronavirus treatments, including ones that do share inaccurate claims about COVID-19 vaccines that are shown to be safe.
Yeah.
Now, YouTube does say it is concerned about the spread of medical conspiracy theories that do go beyond the pandemic. Now, it will see false claims about routine immunizations for diseases like measles, hepatitis B also being removed from YouTube. Now, you're probably saying, the internet is supposed to be a free place.
Yeah.
It is a free place, but, remember, ladies and gentlemen, okay, that regardless of whether or not it's a free place and you can write whatever you want, and you think probably that there is no repercussions to it, number one, right here in the UAE, you cannot write whatever you want, right? If we have cyber crime, if you do, bully someone, harass someone, spread rumors, misinformation about coronavirus, you can be fined and even in jail because of it. Because again, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't,
it harms the public health.
Yeah, it's not a simple matter, right? A lot of people are losing their lives because they are being influenced by posts online and word of mouth and statistics don't lie. People lie, women lie, men lie, numbers don't. And the statistics do show that 99.9% of the people in the United States that were hospitalized because of COVID did not have the vaccine. So what does this mean? Get the vaccine. It's. I don't feel like this should be at a topic of debate right now.
True.
Or a point of debate, because alhamdulillah, all I have to say is alhamdulillah, I have gotten the vaccine. My family has gotten the vaccine, and we have not contracted coronavirus, and I haven't been sick since last year, July.
And even if, God forbid, someone does get the virus after getting the vaccine, the symptoms are a lot easier to manage, and you are basically avoiding some long-term effects of COVID altogether. Now, this ban is not only impacting videos that are directly stating, let's say, side effects of the vaccine, or not even side effects, but rather bad reactions to the vaccine. We're also talking about vloggers. A lot of vloggers love clickbait. They love thumbnails and video titles that will catch attention and that will lure people to click on it, even if they were not accurate, even if they were not true. So these vloggers that go ahead and claim that the vaccines do not work or that they are linked to chronic health effects, their videos will be banned as well. Because those content, or the content that they create, a lot of vloggers actually come out saying that the vaccine could cause autism, that the vaccine could cause cancer, infertility, or that substances in the vaccine can allow governments to track you, which it is all incorrect. If you actually search to the scientific evidence behind all these claims, it's incorrect. Especially coming from normal, regular human beings like you and I, where if you vlog your life, that does not mean that you have any form of how can I say, you don't have any credibility.
Jurisdiction, yes.
Yeah, you don't have any credibility to come out saying this, especially when it's going to impact God knows how many people watching you.
Yeah, again, regardless, even if you are a credible person, and we saw credible people, example, former U.S. President Donald Trump, say some ridiculous things regarding COVID-19, and he is a quote-unquote credible person. But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, right?
Yeah.
Governments around the world are supporting the COVID-19 vaccine.
True.
Right? So when you see governments, and when we say governments, we're not talking about 1-2 people.
Yeah.
We're talking about a entity, a government. Hundreds, if not thousands of people have agreed that the vaccine is safe. Therefore, it is safe. Now, again, getting the vaccine, obviously, it is one person's choice, right? I know a lot of people personally that didn't want to get the vaccine were kind of, speculating whether or not. But, at the end, they did get the vaccine because, the vaccine works. So if it works, it works.
Even for travel, a lot of people can't travel without getting the vaccine.
You shouldn't be inclined to get the vaccine if you just want to travel. You want to get the vaccine because you don't want to get COVID, number one. And number two, you want to, protect the people you love and protect yourself. But, YouTube and a lot of other social media platforms are removing, the misinformation regarding the COVID-19 vaccine and these home remedies that, boil water in this, put some lemon, put some salt and pepper and vinegar, smell it for 14 hours, and then, you won't have COVID anymore. These are all false accusations. If life was this simple, you think doctors wouldn't be saying, hey, go and do that. No, life is not all black and white, ladies and gentlemen. You have to look through the lines. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know your guys' thoughts. 4215, do a slot, or on our Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. Do you think, that the internet is a free place where anyone can say whatever they want without any repercussions? Or should things be filtered or censored? I personally believe that there is a limit because, again, I'm on the internet, but someone who is 8 years old is also on the internet. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the internet connects you not only to the people around you, but the people around the world, no matter what age they are, and they can be influenced by your opinion.
Gadget of the day.
New tech you might want to play with.
New tech you might want to play with, ladies and gentlemen. This has been in the works for many, many years now. And Omnia, how many, companies, I don't know, I can't recall right off the bat, but how many companies actually have smart glasses?
So many, and
Really?
the one that comes to mind, smart glasses for regular people or people with completely healthy people or people with visual impairments, are we talking
Maybe both. I mean, in
Because I
general,
thought
think
of Ray-Ban and Facebook.
That's all I know. That's what I'm saying. I think there's only like two types.
Spectacles. You have, you have
Not many.
non-popular brands releasing a lot, but I don't think they make headlines because people just don't use them as often.
Yes, but ladies and gentlemen, a firm right here in the UAE has upgraded the smart glasses Envision, a future for the visually impaired. Now,
This is genius.
This is genius because, this device actually reads Arabic and English text and can identify 100 global currencies.
Yes, indeed. So you're talking about I think it's one of the most handy devices that a person with visual impairments could potentially get, because we've talked about devices in the past that can help cure migraines, that could help deal with dementia, even detect dementia within 5 minutes. But when it comes to people with visual impairments, you want something that could help them feel a lot more independent, and that's where Amal glass comes into play. So the glasses are called Amal, and they have the ability, just like you've mentioned, Hani, to read text in both Arabic and English. However, there are updates coming to other languages very, very soon. So you name it, text, books, mobile, computer screens. These glasses are equipped with machine learning that can interpret words on any interface, and they are backed up by a smartphone app. So this allows any person with visual impairments to basically scan a kiosk, scan the ATM display, scan the banner on the street that they come across, and even any book that they wish to read. It will scan it and it will read it to them very seamlessly.
Yes, I mean, again, people who are, visually impaired, and, when we say, hey, here's some smart glasses, the number one thing would be like, hey, what do you mean smart glasses? How can I use them?
Yeah.
But again, we're looking at about how it can read text in Arabic and English, and, just like Omnia said, it has capability to scan kiosks and ATM displays. And, so you're basically not missing out on anything.
Yep.
Now, it does cut out the need for human intervention, which, number one thing, someone who is visually impaired, or as, the UAE likes to call it, people of determination, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't like to, or they don't like, right, to depend on someone. And let's be honest, all human beings don't want to depend on someone to do their daily normal activities. And this is where the smart glasses come in. And, the Gadget can ask for help, obviously, from family or friends whenever required by automatically sending out an SMS. Now, it also does have the ability to provide accurate updates on date and time along with a smartwatch. Now, the Amal glass, Amal means hope.
Yeah.
So I like to call it the Hope glass, does have its own store from where users can download as many as 15 applications to support the tool. Now, for regional users, the glasses do also have a mechanism to point visually impaired people in the direction of the Qibla for daily prayers. Isn't that beautiful?
I love it. It's so inclusive. There is nothing that this glasses has missed out on when it comes to helping people with visual impairments. Now, apart from reading text, apart from allowing you to find out where the direction of the Qibla is, these glasses can also detect different things around you. So cars, furniture, similar objects in the vicinity. Let's say you're crossing the road. It will help you detect what is in front of you so that they can prevent collisions for safe navigations. Honestly, I'm so happy that this was actually invented right here in the UAE and is implemented right here in the UAE.
Yes, I mean, it is beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. And again, if you know someone who is visually impaired and would like some of these EMED glasses, the Hope glasses, go out and try to help them. And, it might be a little hefty for the price, but it is all worth it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are taking a short break, but when we come back, we got a lot in store for y'all.
Check this out. Check this out. Pulse 95.
Yes, you heard it correct, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about drone competitions. You got a prize of up to 30 thousand dirhams up for grabs. We do know the weekend is coming and the weather is getting much, much better. Yep. So why not utilize your time and win some dineros?
We are calling on all young creatives aged 16 years and above to put their brilliance in this drone video, because all you're going to have to do is basically film 60 seconds and get all your aerial shots with your drone. Post it on Instagram, tag us at Pulse95 Radio, and use the hashtag Sharjah above. This contest will be open from tomorrow, the 1st of October, up until the 30th of October. And the best effort, there are two categories for this drone, and that's what makes it unique. There is the cinematic drone category, and you have the FPV drone. And each of these categories, there is the best effort that will win 10,000 dirhams in cash. And then you have the runner-ups who will each receive 7,000 dirhams in cash. So in total, there are 4 different prizes with a total of 30,000 dirhams.
Yes, and all you have to do is mention at Pulse95 Radio in your post with hashtag Sharjah above. Make sure those videos do not exceed 60 seconds and you could be winning some cash for your work. But ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right back into the technology news with Amazon and how they have unveiled a robot that can follow you around your home. So we're basically saying that Amazon has released a robot toddler that is 24/7 asking for your attention. Now, Amazon's new Astro device can hear, see, and follow you around your home. But it's quite Rosie. It's not like Rosie the robot.
Yeah.
Now, unlike the animated character from the Jetsons, do you guys remember that TV show or the cartoon series? Astro does not cook or clean, but it can check if you left the cooker on while you're out or send an alert if someone enters the house it does not recognize. I need this, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Sometime when I was home alone, when my family traveled for a month and a half, right? I would be on my way to work, but in my brain, I would be thinking, did I leave the iron on?
Yes.
Did I leave the iron on?
Or the oven.
I've went back home 4 times halfway on my way to work and opened the door.
Because of the iron?
Just to check if I turned it off or not. Or sometimes I would, be thinking if I left the door unlocked or not. So leaving the door unlocked, I went home around 15 times.
Oh my God.
And I would get so upset with myself because it's always locked. The paranoia.
We're not gonna agree on this, but I actually don't really love the idea of Astro the robot. I've heard so many people say, especially when Amazon first launched it, which I think it was yesterday, so many people were saying this is not a robot on wheels, this is a camera on wheels. And having a camera owned by Amazon spying around your house, I don't think that's the best idea. Helpful 100%, especially if you have kids. I feel like this is like the perfect gadget to have at home. Almost as good as having a Roomba, which is the robot vacuum. But a $1,000 robot that has cameras, launched by Amazon, taking by all the privacy concerns I've heard about Amazon and Alexa, not sure I really trust him. However, he's pretty cute. He can even beatbox if you want him to, so he can keep you entertained. And his eyes, I can't deny, they're very, very pretty. His digital eyes, they close and widen as you ask him to do tasks. So he's definitely handy for a lot of chores, bringing you snacks around the house. I just want to know everyone's thoughts about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you live alone, this should be pretty, useful. Checking on whether or not you left this oven on, or if you left the iron on like me.
Yeah.
But again, I feel like if you have people who are in your house, you don't really need it. Let us know your guys' thoughts. 4215 or on our Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. Would you like Astro the robot in your home? But, ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday, and you know what happens on Thursdays. We go crazy. No, I'm joking. We don't go crazy. We go to sleep. But I do hope you guys have a wonderful, 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 wonderful weekend.
So many wonderfuls.
Yes, it is. I mean, the weather is getting better, so why not? But this does mean that Future Talk for today is coming to an end.
We'll catch you again on Sunday. Have a beautiful weekend and be safe.
If you liked this episode of Future Talk, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse 95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.